Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're going to cover Nvidia and Alibaba today. I'm going to start just real quick with the S&P 500, and we've been covering Nvidia and Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, for a little while now. So we're going to review how we've been tracking it to kind of show an overall picture, because I make shorts out of each one of my videos, and I think some people that are just watching the shorts might not see the full context. So I just want this out there so that we can review it as a whole. But first, the S&P 500, nothing really going on too much today, just ended basically flat, and I think it's up a little bit after hours. We're waiting for this moving average right here, this green moving average, to go back down below the 25 moving average, which is the blue right here, before we even consider a short. Now we are starting to see a little bit of a downtrend on the TSI, and we have a little bit of the red bars on the histogram. We are still above this zero line. Okay, so that is just something to be cautious about moving forward. We're kind of still just hanging out in this zone. Nothing really has changed too much with the S&P 500. Let's get into Nvidia next. So Nvidia had a huge day after earnings. It's up 24.37% on the day. It was up 26% and some change at one point in time. And we called out a short back over here, you know, as it, I think about right here is where I first entered a short, April 25th. Now, I said in my previous videos a couple things. First of all, we wanted to close out before earnings, right? And you can go back and look at my Nvidia videos, and you can show that I said we need to clear out. Ideally, you want to profit, but you can sell for a little bit of a loss before earnings. And this is exactly why, right? Because could this end up going back down? Yeah, but you don't want to risk that. We had this previous high right here that we were approaching, and earnings could very easily blast you right through that. And that's exactly what we saw. Now, it is hugely overbought, and I said that while it's overbought, we need to wait for confirmation to go short, and that would be when the price action's below these moving averages and ideally below this Ripster cloud, although you can still enter a short while it's above the Ripster cloud. Just know that it's a little bit higher risk, and that we wanted to see this inflection. If we just bring up the TSI, we said we wanted to see this come down and turn red before we entered the short. I had some people comment on my shorts, and they didn't see the full context here, and they thought that I was just saying get into a short. And I also said that we closed out, or at least I closed out of my position before earnings. I think it was right up around this day. I didn't see any upside that was going to happen before earnings, so I closed out. And then I said we were going to wait for the technicals to change to move into our favor. To do that, I thought that there was a decent amount of possibility just because of how overbought everything was right on the 25th. And you can see that we were below that moving average, and I was just anticipating this moving average to roll over and start to show bearish sentiment, and we didn't get that. We kept climbing, and that's why I closed out of my position. Okay, so that's what we got right now. So as far as just moving forward and moving ahead with Nvidia, nothing has changed in my opinion. This is not a good time to go long, absolutely, in my opinion. And we don't have any indication with the technicals to go short. So that's not what we're doing. We're waiting on the sidelines for that opportunity. Now, as time goes on, depending on how the price action is, these moving averages are going to move up. And if this continues to move sideways, the moving averages are going to move closer to it. And then if we get some sort of move to the downside, that's how we're going to start to see the bearish sentiment start to form. Okay. And if we I guess let's just go to the weekly really quick. We, again, don't have anything showing any indication that we should be going short at this point. Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear. If you're following my shorts that I make off of these videos, you really should be watching the full context, and Nvidia is a perfect example, because if you saw just my shorts, you might not have realized that I said that we should wait for these technicals to change and that we should be closed out before earnings if you're going short. You could have speculated and you could have just gambled and thought that Nvidia was going to shoot high on earnings because of how strong this price was. Whereas if they at least met earnings or beat expectations, you can see they beat it huge right here. That you could do very well if you had a call open or some options, or even just going long on it. But I'm not going to play that. That is a gamble. It's a 50-50 shot. You don't know how earnings are going to be. So let's move on to Alibaba. All right, and Alibaba is another ticker that we've been tracking. And let's just recap this real quick. Again, I said that I originally entered a short. I think it was right around here somewhere. I don't exactly remember, unfortunately, but it shot up, and then I saw that there was this resistance potentially going to form. I saw the price action consolidating. I stuck it out for a little bit of a profit, and then I closed out. And what I said after that is, if you still want to go short on Alibaba, what you want to do is you want to see the price action come up and then bounce off of this resistance right here, and then either consolidate and go down or just go right through it. And what we saw pretty much exactly one of the options that I said, and that was that it was going to come up, and then you want to see a rejection off of this line, and once you see that rejection is when you want to go short. And again, you can go back to my videos and you can pull up the Alibaba, it wasn't that long ago, video, and you can watch that. I'll put the Nvidia and Baba videos in some cards up at the top of the screen throughout this video so you guys can take a look. So what we're seeing with Alibaba right now is all systems go on a short as far as the technicals. At the end of the day, it's up to you whether or not you want to get into it. I'm just giving my opinion of the market. So what do we have? Well, we have a continuation of this downtrend. We have a rejection. We are below the 2 moving averages. We have a red ripster cloud. If you pull up the TSI, we are now forming a red cloud on the TSI, and we're red on the histogram. And also on the TSI, if you just bring it up, we're below the 0 line, which is an indication that we're at least somewhat in a downtrend, right? So is it a safe bet to get into Alibaba objectively? According to these indicators, yes, it is. And we're looking, let's just bring up the VRVP and let's see where we have some resistances here. So this just blew through the support. Next resistance we're looking at is just this previous consolidation at about 65.97. That's probably a good price target. We're actually right at about 76.55, a little bit higher than that, but there was a little bit of consolidation right here, and it would be just below this point right here. Nothing is perfect, as you can see when earlier in my previous videos when I drew something like this, where you're coming up, bounce off, and then either consolidate and come down or just blast straight through. Is it perfect to exactly what I drew? No, of course not. If it was perfect to exactly what I drew, I would be pretty much 100%, and that's not realistic. You gotta give a little bit of room there. So that's what we're looking at Alibaba. I'm waiting on Nvidia, as I've always said, and Baba is a good indication to go short if you see this rejection off of this trend line. So it turned out to play about the same as what I said for Alibaba, and it's a good example of why you should wait for the indicators before you enter a short on Nvidia. Both things I've been talking about for the past couple weeks turned out to play out true. As I say in most of my videos, I'm just someone on YouTube, just like every other stock channel out there. You have to trade at your own risk, do your own due diligence. If you like this video, you want to see more, hit the like button. It's the easiest way to help out the channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube sends you notifications whenever I put out a video. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks.